Working in the oil sands was always a bit of a conflict for me. I always had a deep passion for the environment. I realized that my trade was actually contributing to global warming about 7 years ago when I watched the Al Gore film Inconvenient Truth. It was the spring of 2015 and oil prices across the world were collapsing, and all of our new construction jobs were just shutting down all across the province of Alberta and in other areas of the country.
I talked to people on the phone. They were all freaking out, just watching their savings dwindle and not knowing what's going to happen.
Iron and Earth actually formed on the job site about 2 years ago. It was a group of oil sands workers committed to empowering ourselves to build a renewable energy economy. We started to look at the renewable energy industry and saw that investments were outpacing that of oil and gas by a huge amount. Some of the oil and gas companies recognized that they are going to have to be part of the renewable energy industry as well. That put us in a really unique position to be able to develop a partnership with some of the oil and gas companies who have sponsored this project.
They're going to call that one array or one system. Again, it's still, there's no standardization between array and systems, right? It's not like...
My name is Jason Cordepat. I'm a project manager at GridWorks Energy Group. I design installations, train and instruct the courses, all while trying to promote solar as a very viable alternative energy source.
The other method...
This version of our course, this particular course, offered in partnership with Iron and Earth, is a great course for retraining oil patch workers.
To install on metal roofs. Metal roofs are the best. So we're going to have a little presentation from Iron and Earth. Liam and Jen are going to come in and I will hand the floor over to them.
Iron and Earth was all about bringing more people to the table, as opposed to just talking to a bunch of people who already agree with you anyway. 100,000 people in the patch, 100,000, got laid off. And you know what? The rest of Canada is not really talking about it very much. And one of the reasons that is happening is because nobody can see us. So we can't improve our chances of having a better lot in life unless we bring this issue out in the open.
Out of 15 trainees, a number of them are First Nations community members, and the remaining trainees are previous oil, gas, or coal workers.
Well, I can never say anything bad about the oil sands itself because it employed me for so many years, and it employed a lot of people, and it was good for the country, I guess, right? But the way it is now, I think we're looking more for sustainability.
My mom has always told me, like, I should get into something else totally than what I'm doing because it's not reliable anymore.
I want them to know the vast capabilities of what they could be doing as installers, as designers, as engineers, as any of those other jobs available in the PV industry.
Solar became unrecognizably better compared to what it was not too long ago. The cost came down. It became more competitive. And there's absolutely no way that incorporating more forms of energy into our energy mix isn't going to be better for Canadians and the environment.
We as First Nations people, we always been environmentalists first. We always had that harmonious relationship with the land, the animals, the air, the water and everything. It was just, lost on us, in a few generations here. And I really think, these type of projects with that technology effort is rebuilding that connection. Today we're at the Louisville daycare. Right now the Iron and Earth group is going to be installing an 8 kilowatt PV solar mounted system. With Liam, we kind of worked out the details with GridWorks on bringing the training to the tribe and having the installations on the buildings after as part of that training contribution.
The training that we're doing at the Louisville tribe is just 5 days, and by the time they finish the course, they're going to be able to go out and install solar wherever they want, across Alberta, across Canada.
So step one is going to be going up there. We're going to be snapping chalk lines after we get our fall arrest installed. So it's going to be a few minutes while we get the fall arrest installed.
This is a functional installation. This isn't a training roof. And if I do something just because I've done it 1,000 times and I don't explain it, tell me to stop, run through it again. I'll tell you what we did. Awesome, let's do this. Yeah, I'm gonna actually have to get you to put boots on, please. Thank you.
The benefit of doing a real hands-on installation is that you get to troubleshoot, you get to find differences in the building and actually kind of come up with solutions on the fly, which is going to really be required on any building, really.
What I want to do is that front face and the two south faces are what we're installing on. I have the ladder on the west face. While we were in the classroom, it was a lot of theory. It's a very dense course, but when they got out on site, it's like watching a kid's eyes light up. They got excited, they got interested, they loved seeing the action on site. Cool?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Which way is west?
That way. That would be that side.
These solar panels that we're installing today are going to directly offset electricity emissions that would otherwise be produced by the coal industry.
And there's a recognition that there is climate change and different directions have to be explored to minimize the damage we do. Our own government has really kind of put it in front of everyone, being a leader in the country on reducing of carbon, and investing the money into these opportunities makes this a prime opportunity to get on the front of that.
Because I believe these systems are going to be here for a while. I definitely know they'll outlast me. But it's that next generations that will be very respectful in regards to how these systems operate and how they contribute.
In this area, in this region that's the heart of oil country, there is a bit of a leap of faith that has to happen here. Most of us that grew up in central and southern Alberta, we grew up with windmills sitting next to the ponds. We understand it as a population. Does it make sense economically? To sell it on a heartstring thing doesn't really work for a lot of people, but you sell it on economics and people are buying into it, the community's buying into it.
I think renewable energy is one of the big pieces of the puzzle in terms of ensuring that we can continue as a species on this planet. It is the single most greatest challenge, but also the greatest opportunity to do something really significant with our careers.